Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up in their names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today is content overload week. This is where I overload you with content that is super useful, super vital to you. These are some of the habits that I created over time that has always helped me remain consistent and remain richer and richer year after year. Because as you know, if you've been watching this channel, my goal is to be richer than I was last year every year. That is always my New Year's resolution, and that is always what I accomplish. And so here is a few things that I always do in order to stay ahead, in order to get richer. Number one, if you're somebody who does not maintain a job, or somebody who may leave a job for another one, either to advance their career, seeking more money, seek a better work-life balance, whatever the case may be, the number one thing that I always do, being debt-free outside of mortgages, is that I always invest in my 401k right away. I invest 10 to 15% off the bat. Now, everybody knows that I also invest in my individual stock market accounts, and so I do not include that when I talk about investments overall. That 10 to 15% that I'm putting into my 401k, regardless of the company match, I don't see that on my paycheck. And so when you get that first paycheck and it's significantly less because you're already putting in 10 and 15% from day one, you learn how to live off of 10 to 15% less on your paycheck because you never had a full paycheck to begin with. I am sorry for those who go to work and they were making 100% of their paycheck and taking that home every single week, and then starting to have to cut back on the lifestyle, cut back on the things that they were doing. You see, I never have to cut back because I never started with everything to begin with. You understand? And so when I see my paycheck at the beginning, all the way towards the end, I never ever had a full paycheck to begin with, as long as your company allows for that. Now, number two, another thing that has helped me in my journey is budgeting, especially early on. So I always look at my finances at the beginning of the year. You might need to look at your finances every single month or every single week, regardless of the case may be. I know that I can always cut expenses in certain areas. For example, I can stop eating out if I wanted to. I don't need to eat out. I love to cook. I know how to cook. I'm cooking right now, right? Number two, I can look for healthier options. Chicken is always pretty cheap instead of red meat that sometimes gets me sick when I eat way too much of it. And trust me, I can eat a lot of that. And then also like vegetables, you know, produce. Those are like $3. I've gotten 3 bags of salads for $11, you know, at a Kroger's. And so it is absolutely cheap to eat healthy, and it is definitely cheaper to shop for your food. Another thing that helped me in my financial journey is setting goals. So if my goal is to put $500 away every single month into my savings account, and knowing that I'm able to do that with my discretionary income, that's exactly what I'm going to do. If the goal is $6,000 by the end of the year, that's exactly what I'm going to hit. You understand? And so I don't ever fall short of that because I set a goal and I achieve it. For example, I had a goal to go on vacation in November. It is July, and I already have saved up enough money to go without having to dig into my emergency fund, without having to dig into my investments. And this is why I'm able to get ahead, because a lot of people will put that on a credit card and pay it off later. Another group of people will take it out of their savings and then try and replenish their savings later. But as for me, I look at my savings, I look at my investments, I look at my credit card, and I say, let me have the money first, and then I'll buy everything that I need, right? And so I don't ever look too far ahead. I pay for everything when I have the cash to pay for it, and not when I want to pay for it, but when I have the means to pay for it without having to deplete my net worth, right? Because even your savings is a part of your net worth, so you don't want to deplete that for fun, right? It's not a necessity. And so your emergency fund shouldn't be used for vacations. Now, I understand that we all need a mental break sometimes. Sometimes the job is too stressful. Sometimes your relationship is too stressful. Sometimes life is too stressful and you need to decompress. There are plenty of things that you can do outside of alcohol and drugs, like going for walks, coloring, whatever it is that you like to do. I like to go to box. The gym doesn't really excite me too much. I do go to the gym because I have to maintain my healthy frame. I have to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and that's called discipline, right? But when we're talking about good habits to build, especially when you don't want to, this is a key. This is super, super important, right? Sometimes I don't want to go to a walk. Maybe I'll just watch anime for the day. Maybe I'll just cook a nice meal. And sometimes that meal isn't the healthiest of options, and so I'll go to the gym the next day to work that off because I know that I treated myself to something good, and so I treated myself to something bad, and so now I have to treat myself to something good, which is that pain in the gym. And so I've said a lot right now, but let me know what it is that you think would help you, that would benefit you in your journey. What type of tips would you have utilized or would you start to utilize now in order to benefit you moving forward? Let me know in the comment section down below. As you know, I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.